Hey, so I got my freeze dryer. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna walk you through. I've never done anything with a freeze dryer before. So this is a first for me, and if it's a first for you, come watch and learn with me. So if I make any mistakes, maybe you can avoid them. Okay, so my husband, who is amazing, has set up my freeze dryer with our little thing. There's a little bit of a plasticky smell, which I guess some people have said is normal. Okay, so that thing stays on there. So here's all our trays. Okay, it says, here's our long trays. This is a large. It says the first batch. This is my very first. Seriously, this is my first time. It says the first time to run a batch with just bread. And it says, so this is kind of funny. It says to just get the bread kind of damp. It doesn't necessarily have to be soaking wet, but as luck would have it, I am seriously almost out of bread. How did that happen? So the only bread that I have is a little on the stale, dry side. Okay, so let's see. We got 5 trays. I'm going to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's only going to be enough for 1 slice per tray, which is fine. That's totally fine. So all I'm doing here, I've got my bread. Actually, this kind of kills me because this is the nice wheat bread that I buy for just, the adults. Oh, that might have been too long. Okay, that's pretty wet. Well, that'll be a good test. So I'm just going to do 1 slice of bread on each tray. Okay, it catches on something there. There we go. And, okay. I'm just doing 1 slice of bread on each tray, just so we're testing it out. That's the point of this first test, is just to make sure everything works as it should. It's kind of annoying that there's something in the back there that stops the tray from going right in. That's kind of weird. Ah, and that one goes in. It must have just been screws or something. Okay. And I have my user's manual that comes with this. So I'm totally just following the directions here. So bear with me. Okay. For this time, I guess I'll do it this way.
I did that wrong. Keep watching and you'll find out how to do it right.
So, and my husband said it goes on pretty tight. Okay, yeah, it does. Okay. So we got our cover on there. My husband's done all the work. He's turned the pump on, he's hooked everything up. I made sure the power button is on, turned in the on position of the pump. So we've got this. Okay, let's see. Secure the door latch, create a good seal. Okay, that's done. Turn it as far to the right as possible.
Big mistake. Keep watching to find out what I did wrong here.
Okay, so I have to keep, that might be as far as possible. Okay, well, I guess that's as far as possible. Okay, make sure to close the drain valve on the freeze dryer located on the side. Okay. Here's our drain valve. We want it okay, so in that picture, let me just show you what I did. Woo! You want to make sure the drain valve is turned that way. And it's a good thing I checked because mine was not. Okay. Yay! Okay, good to know. So it does say Okay, if the drain valve is not closed, there will be a vacuum pump. If the drain valve is not closed, there will be a vacuum leak which could damage your vacuum pump and void the vacuum pump warranty. Be sure to place the open end in a 5-gallon bucket drain or similar container to collect the water that is removed during the freeze-drying defrost process. Be sure to keep the hose out of water. It will suck water into the chamber. Okay, so I have that. My husband, for now, he set me up with a little trash can down there. Okay, so ensure that the acrylic door makes contact with the rubber gasket by examining the door in the fully closed position. You'll see a thin line in the middle of the gasket that goes partially around the gasket. Okay, I'm not really sure what that means. As it presses up against the door, when the pump turns on, make sure the door fully seals against the gasket. Okay, I'm not really sure what they're talking about there, but
There's a reason I couldn't find what they were talking about. You'll see.
it seems pretty sealed. As described in previous studies, blah, 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 close the door. Okay, turn on the freeze dryer by pressing the switch to the on position. Oh, that's in the back. Okay, so I have power. Oh, and you can't see my screen. So I'll tell you what it says because the angle is bad. So, in order to perform a quick test and ensure your freeze dryer is set up properly, complete the following steps. Okay. Press the circle leaf logo in the upper left corner. This will take you to a functional testing screen. Toggle on the freeze switch by pressing the off-on button icon. Okay. Toggle on. Oh, it just turned on. It did something. You should hear the refrigeration condenser turn on. Close the door and the drain valve. Let it freeze for 30 minutes or more. Then toggle the vacuum to on by pressing the on-off button. Okay, so that's how many seconds. So I guess let it freeze for 30 minutes or more, then toggle. Okay. Okay, so I guess I will come back in 30 minutes. I'm back. So it's been just over 30 minutes. The timer here says 31 minutes and 40 some odd seconds. It's still counting. So now it says let it freeze for 30 minutes or more, then toggle the vacuum to on by pressing the on-off button icon. So this is what it's not super clear about in the instructions. It doesn't say to toggle the freezing off. It just says then toggle the vacuum to on by press. So I'm curious, and we'll see here in just a second, if it's going to automatically turn off the freezing one, or if I need to turn that off, because you don't want to keep I don't think. It says you should hear the vacuum pump turn on. Oh, I do leave it. Okay, pressing done will automatically toggle the freeze and the vacuum to off. Okay, so scratch that. We keep the freeze on and I just toggle the vacuum. So we should hear the pump come on and then we check it we give it 20, 30 minutes. So, vacuum. Okay, I'm trying to toggle it. Oh, there we go. I hear the vacuum. Okay. We are in business. I had to tap it a little bit. I wasn't sure it was doing that. So now, woo, that blows out some cold air on my hiney. But it's also cold in the garage here. Okay, so 33 minutes. So now we're gonna wait for 20 to 30 minutes. The pressure reading will decrease until it's below 500 mTORR. So let me show you the screen now. Okay, so you can see here, I've got the vacuum turned on. This number, where's my finger? that number right there, the MTORR, that's what we want to get below 500. So that's what we're waiting for. It says 20 to 30 minutes. So, and then at that point we tap done. So that's where we're at. See, the vacuum's counting up 1.5 minutes. That's how long I've had the vacuum on. So, cool beans. We'll come back and check it in a minute. How embarrassing. I already made my first mistake. Okay, I'm a dork. So, if you did this too, it's okay. You're in good company. If you haven't done yours yet, don't make this mistake I did. So, my pillow that I put in here, the little Thrive pillow, apparently you're supposed to push it in all the way, like tuck the edges out. And technically, I called customer service and you don't even technically have to use it. But yeah, you have to tuck it in so that you have the seal right here. That's the seal they were talking about. Oh, I get it now. So, yeah. So because I had the vacuum going and it just wasn't getting up to pressure because it said it's supposed to get to that 500, what is it? 500 mTOR. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but it's supposed to get up to 500 and mine was like at 97,000. I was like, what the heck? After a half hour and it still wasn't down. So that's when I was like, okay, it's not getting up to pressure. I called customer service and as I'm waiting, I'm reading through all my directions, which I had already read. I just skipped over this part. I somehow missed it. Where it says to push this in past the seal. So your little pillow thing, push it in past the seal. You want the seal and this plastic to connect directly. So now I'm almost up to 30 minutes again. Oh, and heads up, even though it hadn't really gathered pressure, so they had me open the side valve, the drain valve, open it to release pressure, and then I could open this and push the pillow in, and then make sure you close the valve again. And now it's freezing. Granted, it probably didn't need another 30 minutes to freeze because it was still cold and frozen parts in there, but I figure what the heck, better safe than sorry, right? So I let it go for another 30 minutes, and well, almost. And then I'm going to turn the vacuum on now, and we'll watch it for a second and see. It should be dropping a little faster. They did say, and now this makes sense. Let me show you the lines that they were talking about. I didn't know what they were talking about before. Okay, this is what they're talking about when they said the line. Do you see this little line right here? So this, if I push the plastic, you can see it makes the line there. So that's basically the line. See if I can show you without too much of a glare. But do you see what I'm talking about, this line right here? That's the line that they were talking about in the instructions to look for. Okay, so now that we have that, and you can tell 31, let's see if I can do this without shaking, 31 minutes. So I'm going to turn our vacuum on. This thing, you kind of have to tap it. There we go. Woo, scared me. Okay, so now our vacuum's on. So see that 12,000? That number right there? We should see that drop pretty good. Mine didn't get, last time, it didn't get below 98. Oh, sorry, that's 109, 107. Wow, that's dropping fast now. Look at that go! Okay, we got some good seal going on now. Okay, yeah, this is lower than it went at all, this first test run. So we're doing good. We're in business. Whee! As soon as that number gets down to 500 or less, we know we're good, and I can click done, and the test run is done. Yay, hooray! All right, we're down 280 mTOR. That's looking good. So at this point, now we can hit done. And I come over here to this little valve, and we open it to release the pressure. Let's see, that way. So we hear all the pressure release. Yay! Now, let's open it up. Okay, tight seal. Okay, this is why we can't open it. See how it's still building, or it's getting the pressure dropped. That's why we couldn't open it. So release the pressure over, or turn it off, hit done, open the valve, and then wait for this to release. I'm guessing it's got to be around 98 to 100,000 because that's about where it was when we started. And then we should be able to open it up. Okay, pressure has gone down or up. Technically low pressure, I don't know. The number's higher and it's still going up high. But the biggest thing that I notice is, remember that line around the edge, that there's that line right there? That has gotten smaller, which tells me the pressure has got, so I can open it. Yay! Okay, so let's see what, ice baby. Okay, so that we're gonna put up there. Let's take a look at our pan. Yeah, the bread's stuck to it. We'll have to get our little scraper. So I have a pastry scraper. See how this one, yeah, it's stuck to it too. So I'm just gonna pull them out and let them kind of come to room temperature a little bit for the trays. The bread's looking good. I need a scraper.
Did they shrink or increase in size?
Yeah, not for the bread. It really didn't. Well, it says you can scrape them. They're pretty cold. Pretty cold slices of bread. They are stuck on there good.
Ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah. So there's frost inside there. If you can see, we got some frost, and granted, just a few slices of bread. Not too bad. So, woohoo! First batch done.
Thanks for watching and witnessing my epic fails. I hope that you were able to learn something from this video and my experience and avoid these mistakes yourself. Remember, tuck the pillow in. So I hope you would like and subscribe and keep an eye out for more freeze drying adventures. Be sure and follow the Facebook group. Come join us and share your freeze drying adventures, and like and subscribe.